The US government is still shut down. It has just reached an all-time high in terms of being closed. So this is very interesting, and it has been affecting the market, and it has been affecting the American people. On today's video, we're gonna dive in about the effects of the US government shutdown. We're gonna lead that directly into cryptocurrency and focus on Stellar Lumens in the Algorand ecosystem. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and we about to dive in. The government shutdown is now the longest in US history, and let's see how it compares in this article. So you got, right now we're at 35 days at the time of this video, and that's with Trump here, and then the second longest was also with Trump there, and then we got, if you combine it all together, Jimmy Carter has a lot of the days of the shutdown, but it's basically between Jimmy and Trump, right? And then when we're talking about the shutdown, let's dive in a little deeper how it's affecting people. I think this is a big part of why people are buying a little less crypto right now, and people are kind of waiting to see what happens. So a government shutdown disrupts public services, affecting Americans through issues like delayed federal benefits, public health and safety risks, and economic damage. Americans may experience delays in applying for loans and benefits, a reduction in services like food assistance and national parks access, public safety, and particularly air travel and monitoring. So you've been hearing about, I know, SNAP benefits, right? And then the low home income energy assistance program, so people's utility bills and their food is affected. Then also the ACA healthcare subsidies with the new marketplace enrollment period happening in December and November right now, right? And then you got air travels affected because of the TSA short staffages, federal employees not getting their paychecks. All of this is all connected. And if we go look at the crypto charts right now, in particular, we'll dive into Bitcoin. If we pull up the 1 month chart, it is down 17%. And then the day that really kind of set it all off was the Trump tweet on October 10th. Ever since October 10th, this is where the 17% drop comes from. And if we go back, we're in fear in the market. Looking at the 7-day price action, most things are in double digits, right? All of the top 10, especially of small caps, all of this is related. Now, and if we go look at just politics in general, we had Mondami just won in New York last night, or at the time of this video, 2 days ago. That's a Democrat. Then you have the Democrat and the gubernatorial election, the governor, New Jersey won, and then you got another Democrat won in the governor election in Virginia. The vote in California went through positive, all right? And then if you add all this together, who are the people that are benefiting, right? Presidency boosts Trump's net worth by $3 billion in a year, so he's definitely benefited. His son has received a giant contract for the company. He's on the board with a drone company, right? Bernie put out some great tweets a few weeks ago. This year, Trump's big, beautiful bill gave Google an $18 billion tax break, Amazon $16 billion tax break, Microsoft $12 billion, Facebook $11 billion, right? Now they're helping him build his ballroom. The America First policy made $40 billion bailout for Argentina, $12 billion for Netanyahu in Israel. They're threatening war. So all of this is like money related, right? And then finally, in 2025, Trump himself, $3 billion from crypto, kind of just looked at that on that Forbes, $940 million for law firms, $400 million plane from Qatar, $36 million for CBS, 25 Meta, 24 YouTube, ABC. So he's racking in money. We've been hearing about Larry Fink talking about tokenization. The big dogs, Peter Thiel just brought this up, have touched Bitcoin, have touched crypto, and we're not getting the bull run that we all thought we were going to get, right? So that's what's pretty much happening, y'all. Now, after we got that part taken care of, crypto pulled back, starting to flat out around 100 for Bitcoin. We know what's happening with the government shutdown. Pay attention to what this means and what this means for your bags. Now let's get to some of the more uplifting news if you're a Stellar Lumens holder. So if you're looking for how to get to the future of finance, follow this map. So Stellar put out a Stellar real world asset market map. So you have under US Treasuries, you have Ondo, right? I just brought up BlackRock and Larry Fink, Franklin Templeton, Centrifuge, Etherfuse, Wisdom Tree, Giannis Henderson, and then under equity, Wisdom Tree, Mercado Bitcoin, corporate bonds, Wisdom Tree. So a lot of Wisdom Tree, right? Pay attention to that. These same type of financial companies. Red Swan, I announced on here a few weeks ago that they're tokenizing on Stellar Lumens, right? Stellar is partnering with all these companies. Dexis, Aquarius, Soro Swap, DeFi integrations, right? Under lending, we have Blend, Kinetic, Templar, Huma, Yield, Solve Protocol, DeFi Dex. Y'all let me know if you use any of these DeFi integrations. And then under infrastructure, you have Token Forge, again, Centrifuge. Some of these names are being repetitive. Interoperability, Layer Zero, Axlar. We got a lot of Axlar fans that watch this channel. Oracles. We have Band. I remember Band Protocol. Need to research on them. I haven't looked at them in a while. Dia, Reflector, and Redstone. I'm surprised they didn't put Chainlink on here, but this is the Stellar real world asset map as of 2025. So make sure y'all check that out. Now, Stellar has put out their Q3 report. Now, I think this is important for the holders to understand that they are cooking. Developer activity up 37%, smart contracts hitting 1 million per day, 5.4 billion in flowing through the network, and Q3 report just dropped. So here it is, 37% full-time dev growth, AXD industry, right? Then they have the PYUSD, that's the PayPal stablecoin, and then the Chainlink integration, and the USDY is live, bringing regulated dollars and tokenized treasuries to users globally. 1 million smart contract invocations a day as developers build with smart contracts and new DeFi primitives, and $5.4 billion all-time high real world asset payments volume. And then finally, number 4 most used blockchain, 218 transactions per address on Stellar, real users, real activity. Number 3 on non-EVM yield-bearing real world assets, top 10 overall. Now this Q3 2025, scaling what works, growing stronger. This is the quarter in review. And I definitely like when blockchain crypto foundations put out these type of reports. It lets you know that they have been working, that they are working. So let's go through this one a little bit. We talked about some of the performance aspects there, and then also developer smart contracts. We know those just got activated recently. They're in a lot of use. And then they have new ambassadors expanding to Latin America and then the Asia Pacific. A lot of developers out in Korea and South America. And if we look at utility at scale, right, we got real world assets and DeFi. Q3 reinforces Stellar's position as a home for real world assets. Market caps, real world asset market cap hit 562 million with a total supply of up 20%, while cross-border payments reached an all-time high, up 27% quarter over quarter. And then some of these names we looked at for the RWA map, major issuers, Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, Ondo, Centrifuge, Mercado, Bitcoin, continue to expand the network's institutional footprint. And then, so yeah, it's looking real good. And then when you go to institutional trust, because the whole narrative for this year, real world asset, tokenization, institutions holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, the new ETFs on their balance sheets. So you got Q3 delivered key enterprise milestones. Visa added Stellar to a stablecoin settlement payment. MoneyGram launches its next-gen wallet in Colombia using USDC on Stellar. Through the Stellar disbursement platform, partners include GIZ, UNDP, that's the United Nations Development, And then the World Food Program processed 4.2 million year to date, 50% quarter over quarter. That's huge. And PayPal's stablecoin launched on Stellar. That's another good institutional adoption product there. And then we got product momentum in general. Stellar's biggest upgrade since smart contracts, the Whisk, went live in September, introducing parallel execution, faster blocks, and unified token events. Smart contracts, smoother, faster, and then just talk to you about all the partners Stellar is working with. And then finally they have, as Meridian 2025 in Rio, more than 1,000 attended from 65 countries and 229 companies transacted 400,000 XLM through Meridian Pay. So they was using it out there to make payments. As the ecosystem look toward Meridian 2026 at Yas Marina Circuit Abu Dhabi, they said they head into the Middle East. The message remains clear. Stellar is scaling what works and growing stronger. So that's what I got for y'all for Stellar Lumens. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Now, moving on to Algorand. This is something that I've been excited about, this partnership here with Google. Algorand has partnered with Google. Everyone's talking about the next big thing in blockchain. Algorand is already shipping it, partnering with Google on their AP2 agentic payments protocol, building post-quantum secure accounts. We're lapping the field in real innovation, not speculation. So, I don't know, maybe a few months ago, 6 months ago, I talked about Google dropping Willow, right? And this is a quantum computing platform. Their chips and their supercomputer. Algorand has recently made a post-quantum transaction. Then at the same time, Algorand is partnering with Google for their Agentics payments protocol. And we know the AI wave is not a bubble, it's real revenue there. So here's that right here. Confidential, quantum secure on Algorand with Falcon, Verify, and Hermes Vault zero knowledge design. So we don't have to get caught up in the language and the names, but users can now create private post-quantum ready accounts built through deep collaboration between Algorand and Algorand Foundation. Essentially, Rigetti and all these quantum stocks, this blockchain is in position to fight back. That's powerful. And one of the big stories recently that slightly caused some controversy here is this. Our partnership with World Chess is renewed and stronger than ever. Together, we're driving innovation and loyalty and identity in sports, starting with the Tower, a fully on-chain chess loyalty program built on Algorand's Intermezzo. So let's talk about the beef a little bit. How they're paying for it. They're going to be staking, right? Algorand's already staking through the consensus, which gives fees for people who are running nodes. Algorand obviously has a large chunk of algo that they're running nodes with. They're going to be taking their rewards and sending it to World Chess for at least 2 years for this partnership. That's $700,000 worth of algo they'll be sending to World Chess. Some people was like, I thought y'all wasn't going to collect the rewards. Technically, as they say, they're not collecting rewards. They're going to push that over to a partnership. And as I talked about in a live stream recently with Frugal BC, they spent more money on other things without much result, depending on what it is. Drone racing, sailboating, right? This one here is actually using Intermezzo, their product that could then be that test where they can then shop out the results of what they're doing with World Chess and sending it out to make it a product for other companies. So I ain't mad at that. I think that's obviously not a bad idea. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. Algorand and World Chess renew strategic partnership for on-chain sports, loyalty and identity, featuring an innovative Web3 business model. Loyalty and identity. All right, so we're gonna go through some of the highlights. So Algorand remains the exclusive blockchain partner of World Chess, visible across worldchess.com, the official online platform for their chess tournaments and all that. upcoming World Chess Clubs Network, global tournaments, TV broadcasts, merchandise, player loyalty programs where digital rewards meets physical perks. Big marketing as well. And then how Intermezzo powers the tower from World Chess. So you got Algorand's transparent, public ledger verifiable ownership, transparent proof of every milestone. So Algorand's handling that settlement, handling the ownership of all of the points, all of the IDs and stuff. Rewards are tokenized and can be used across events, shops, and even partner clubs. And then player achievements and rankings are permanently verifiable with no data loss, no resets. So they're really integrating the blockchain. As a user, it won't also be all up in your face or nothing. Then the plan to launch the Global Chess Passport built on Raka, Algorand's Web3 identity wallet. So they're moving in and using blockchain for ways that most people have never thought of. And they're talking about an on-chain model for other sports, right? So they're trying to think of this as a longer term play. So if you can use it for chess successfully, and then you can potentially move this to other types of sports, especially digital video games, I'm thinking that comes to my mind. And here's a quote from the CEO of World Chess. Chess is the proving ground. Once Algorand's blockchain-based system works for millions of chess players, it can be scaled to any sport built on community and trust. So that's what they got going on there. Let me know what y'all think about the Algorand of World Chess. Let me know what y'all think about Algorand and Google. Now, this is still about Algorand a little bit, but we're gonna dive in a little deeper into a platform called Alpha Arcade. And I wanna talk to y'all about the metrics, about the things that is going on at Alpha Arcade and why it has recently sparked my interest. So Alpha Arcade says, we just crossed 3.5 million total volume with over 200,000 in volume in the last 3 days. So Alpha Arcade, they're a predictions market. You heard of Poly Market, you know about DraftKings and all of that. This is in that realm of existence, but it's built on the Algorand blockchain, and it is also built by the same people who built Lofty AI, the tokenized real estate platform. So here they say volume growth. So they had 300,000 volume, 320,000 in July, 346,000 in August, 400,000 in September. Then they went to over $1 million in October, and they're expecting 1.5 million projected in November. That's massive volume, and it's heading in the right direction. And this is what, really caught my attention. I retweeted about this, but one of the biggest USDC airdrops yet just hit Alpha holders' wallets. So you hold Alpha, and then you can earn passive USDC from trading fees on the prediction market. The other half of the fees are used to buy Alpha, which is then burned to reduce supply. So if you hold their token, that's potential, up and down price, but you earn a passive income in straight up USDC. So you're not earning more Alpha, you're earning USDC, which eliminates the sell pressure. Because every time we get a rewards token, what would you do? You dump it, right? I dump it. Most people just dump it when they rewarded a token. But if you're dumping USDC, does it really matter? No, because you're dumping for USDC. I think that's a smart move. Very, very smart move. Again, so here's Alpha Arcade on Twitter. This is what their prediction markets look like. I'll be probably diving in more to this later to talk to y'all about this. And to wrap this all up, crypto is pulling back right now. Do I think we still finish strong for the end of the year? I personally do. I'm still in conviction that we have a nice winter or Christmas rally. I'm gonna keep y'all updated with more info, technical analysis, and all that coming soon. Make sure that you let me know what you think about this video in the comments. If you have any suggestions of new videos or anything of that nature, just hit that like button, subscribe, and holla at me in the chat. Until the next time, y'all, peace. Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.